Today, we are uncovering 7 amazing Jefferson Nickels that look ordinary but could hold extraordinary value in the collector's world. From rare mint errors to surprising auction stories, these coins have shocked even expert numismatists. Stay tuned as we reveal hidden details that could turn pocket change into life-changing discoveries. So let's get started. First coin, the 1964 with a D mint mark, a coin that in normal circulated condition is considered extremely common. Yet in very special and unusual circumstances, it has been reported in auction discussions to reach astonishing figures that can go as high as $300,000, creating massive curiosity among collectors and investors around the world. This particular nickel was minted in the Denver Mint and belongs to a time period when billions of Jefferson Nickels were produced for everyday circulation, most of them showing standard wear, scratches, toning, and heavy circulation marks. However, what makes certain examples stand out is not the date alone, but a combination of rare minting anomalies, exceptional preservation details, and unusual surface characteristics that elevate its desirability far beyond face value. In typical market conditions, a 1964D Jefferson nickel in circulated fine condition would only be worth a few cents to a few dollars, depending on grade, but numismatic value is heavily influenced by rarity factors such as mint errors, strike quality, baptisai, luster retention, and unique toning patterns that appear naturally over decades of storage. This is where collectors begin to pay attention, because even a small deviation from normal production standards can transform a common coin into a highly sought-after collectible. Some of the most important features that could contribute to extreme valuation include doubled die errors, off-center strikes, over-polished dies, or rare planche issues that occurred during production at the Denver Mint. When combined with strong eye appeal and original surfaces, even a circulated coin can gain significant attention in elite auction circles. Toning also plays a crucial role in determining desirability, as natural toning developed over years of environmental exposure can create beautiful rainbow-like colors or deep golden and blue shades that collectors find visually appealing. In the case of this 1964D Jefferson Nickel, reports and speculative listings suggest that certain pieces with unusual toning and preserved detail have attracted bids from high-end collectors, pushing theoretical valuations into extremely high ranges, although it must be understood that such prices are not representative of standard market value, but rather exceptional and rare bidding situations where collectors compete aggressively for unique numismatic pieces. Grading services also play a major role in determining final auction outcomes. Coins that receive high mint state grades from professional grading companies such as MS65 or above can see dramatic increases in value, especially if they exhibit full steps on Monticello, which is one of the most important strike quality indicators for Jefferson Nickels. Full steps mean that the steps of Monticello on the reverse side are fully visible and sharply defined without interruption, a feature that is extremely difficult to find in circulated coins. When such characteristics combine with rare minting anomalies, collectors may assign premium values that far exceed normal expectations. Market demand also influences pricing heavily, as the coin collecting community often reacts strongly to rarity narratives and auction hype, which can drive bidding wars and speculative price spikes. However, experienced numismatists always emphasize that true market value is determined by verified auction results and certified grading, not just online claims or unverified listings. Despite this, The 1964D Jefferson Nickel remains an important topic of discussion because it represents how even modern-era coins, which are often overlooked due to high mintage numbers, can still surprise collectors with hidden value under special conditions. The coin itself is composed of a copper-nickel alloy and has a standard design featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design that has remained iconic in American coinage history. Over time, coins like this have become a gateway for new collectors entering the hobby as they learn that value is not always determined by age, but by rarity, condition, and demand. In today's competitive auction environment, coins that once circulated freely in pocket change are now being carefully examined under magnification for any sign of rarity or error. And this Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how numismatics continues to evolve, blending history, art, and investment potential into a single, small piece of metal. While the figure of $300,000 should be viewed as an extreme and highly exceptional scenario, rather than a standard valuation, it highlights the excitement and mystery that surrounds coin collecting, where every detail matters and every coin has the potential to tell a unique story that could change its destiny in the collector's market, making the 1964D Jefferson nickel not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of hidden possibilities within everyday pocket change. Next coin, the 1971 with a D mint mark, a coin that in normal circulated fine condition is extremely common in everyday coinage. Yet in certain rare and unusual circumstances, it has been discussed in collector circles with astonishing valuations that reportedly reach up to $310,000 in today's auction market speculation, creating strong curiosity among coin enthusiasts, investors, and collectors who are constantly searching for hidden value in ordinary pocket change. The 1971D Jefferson nickel was produced at the Denver Mint during a high mintage period when millions upon millions of nickels were struck for general circulation, meaning that most examples are still easily found today in circulated condition, showing surface wear, scratches, dull luster, and environmental marks. However, numismatics is not always about mintage numbers alone. It is about rarity within rarity, meaning that certain error combinations, strike anomalies, and exceptional preservation characteristics can transform an otherwise common coin into a highly desirable collectible. In the case of this specific 1971D Jefferson nickel, the attention comes from reports of extraordinary examples that may show rare minting characteristics, such as strong strike definition, unusual die variations, or exceptional surface toning that developed naturally over decades. Toning itself plays an important role in collector interest because it can create unique visual appeal with golden, blue, or rainbow-like shades that form when a coin is exposed to specific environmental conditions over long periods of time. Even a circulated coin can sometimes develop attractive toning patterns that increase its desirability among specialized collectors. Additionally, grading plays a major role in determining the market perception of any coin. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on strike quality, surface preservation, and eye appeal. And even a coin that is technically circulated can sometimes receive a high details grade if it retains strong visual characteristics and minimal damage compared to typical examples. In rare discussions where a 1971D Jefferson nickel is said to reach extremely high auction values, it is usually assumed that the coin is not an ordinary circulated piece, but rather an exceptional specimen, with multiple premium features combined, such as strong luster retention despite circulation, near-flawless surface preservation, or rare mint errors that dramatically increase collector demand. Error coins, in particular, are one of the most powerful drivers of value in modern numismatics, including off-center strikes, double die impressions, clipped planchets, or die cracks that create unique patterns not found in standard production coins. When such features appear on a coin that is already part of a widely collected series like the Jefferson Nickel, competition among collectors can become intense, sometimes leading to extremely high bidding at auctions where rarity and uniqueness outweigh normal market expectations. The Jefferson Nickel series itself is historically significant because it has been in circulation for decades, with consistent design featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, making it one of the most recognized and collected coin types in American history. The 1971D issue specifically belongs to the early 1970s production era, when the U.S. Mint was producing large quantities of coins to meet growing economic demand, which generally reduces rarity but increases the importance of finding exceptional condition survivors. Over time, collectors have learned that even modern-era coins can surprise the market when they display unusual characteristics that separate them from billions of standard examples. In today's auction environment, claims of extremely high values such as $310,000 should always be viewed with careful understanding of context, because such numbers typically represent rare, possibly unique error specimens or speculative high-end auction scenarios rather than average circulated coins found in pocket change. Serious collectors rely on verified auction records and certified grading results to determine true market value. Yet the excitement surrounding these stories continues to grow because they highlight the possibility that hidden treasures may still exist in everyday circulation. The 1971D Jefferson Nickel therefore becomes more than just a simple 5-cent coin. It becomes a symbol of discovery, curiosity, and the ongoing search for rare numismatic anomalies. And whether one views it as a common coin or a potential high-value collectible depends entirely on its individual characteristics, condition, and rarity factors that must be carefully examined under expert evaluation before any final valuation can be confirmed. Next coin, the 1979 with a D mint mark, a coin that in normal circulated condition is extremely common and usually worth only its face value. Yet in rare and extraordinary numismatic circumstances, it has been associated with auction discussions reaching as high as $320,000, creating a wave of curiosity among collectors who often wonder how a simple pocket change coin could ever reach such a dramatic valuation. The 1979D Jefferson Nickel was struck at the Denver Mint during a period of massive coin production, where millions of nickels were released into circulation to support everyday commerce across the United States. Because of this high mintage, most examples found today show clear signs of circulation such as surface wear, fading luster, scratches, and environmental damage, making them very common and typically low in collector value. However, numismatics is not only about how many coins were made, it is also about how many rare and exceptional survivors exist, with unique qualities that set them apart from the rest. In certain rare cases, a 1979D Jefferson Nickel may exhibit unusual mint errors, strong strike quality, or highly attractive natural toning that developed over decades, and these factors can significantly change how collectors perceive its value. Toning, in particular, can play an important role, because coins that have been stored in unique environmental conditions sometimes develop deep golden, blue, or multicolor surfaces that are highly appealing to advanced collectors. Even if the coin is circulated, visual appeal can sometimes elevate interest far beyond normal expectations. Another critical factor is the presence of minting errors, which can include double die impressions, off-center strikes, die cracks, or planche irregularities that occurred during production. These errors are not intentional and are considered rare manufacturing mistakes, and when they appear on an otherwise common coin, like the 1979 Jefferson Nickel, they can dramatically increase collector demand, especially if the error is clearly visible and certified by professional grading services. Grading plays a major role in modern coin valuation because third-party grading companies evaluate coins based on condition, strike quality, and surface preservation. Even a circulated coin can achieve a higher market position if it retains strong detail and minimal damage compared to typical examples. However, it is important to understand that most circulated 1979 Jefferson Nickels remain in very low value range, and only extraordinary specimens with verified rarity factors can reach high auction levels. The claim of $320,000 value is not representative of standard market conditions, but instead reflects rare, exceptional, and possibly unique specimens that may have been involved in competitive bidding scenarios where collectors were competing for extremely unusual pieces. The Jefferson Nickel series itself is one of the most widely recognized in American coinage history, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design that has remained iconic for decades and is collected by both beginners and advanced numismatists. The 1979 issue belongs to a modern era of production where coins were struck in extremely high numbers, which generally reduces rarity but increases the importance of finding exceptional condition or error examples. Over time, collectors have learned that even modern coins can hold hidden surprises, and this is why coins like the 1979 Jefferson Nickel continue to attract attention in online discussions and auction stories. In today's market environment, serious collectors rely on verified auction results and certified grading reports rather than unconfirmed claims, because true market value is determined by actual sales history, rarity verification, and collector demand, not just speculation or viral listings. Nevertheless, the fascination with stories of high-value modern coins continues to grow because they highlight the possibility that even ordinary pocket change might contain something rare, unique, and valuable. The 1979 Jefferson Nickel therefore represents more than just a 5-cent coin. It represents the curiosity of collectors and the unpredictable nature of numismatic discovery, where condition, rarity, and error combinations can completely transform the identity of a coin, turning it from a simple circulation piece into a potential auction highlight under the right circumstances, making it an ongoing topic of interest in the world of coin collecting and investment speculation. Next coin, the 1984 with a D mint mark, a coin that in normal circulated condition is extremely common and usually worth only its face value or slightly above, depending on condition. Yet in rare and highly unusual circumstances, it has been associated with extraordinary auction claims reaching up to $330,000, which immediately captures attention of collectors and investors who are always searching for hidden value in everyday pocket change. The 1984 Jefferson Nickel was produced at the Denver Mint during a period of massive coin production when millions of coins were struck for circulation across the country, meaning that most surviving examples today are heavily circulated and show clear signs of wear and tear, such as scratches, dull surfaces, loss of luster, and environmental damage. However, numismatics often reveals that rarity is not always about how many coins were made, but about how many exceptional examples survive with unique characteristics that separate them from the normal population. In the case of this coin, discussions about extremely high value usually revolve around rare minting anomalies, exceptional strike quality, or unusual surface conditions that make a specific coin stand out from billions of others. One of the most important factors that can influence value in modern coins is the presence of mint errors, which can include double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or re-punched mint marks. These errors occur during the minting process and are not intentional, making them highly collectible when discovered in clear and well-preserved form. If a 1984D Jefferson Nickel were to show a rare and dramatic mint error combined with strong eye appeal and minimal damage, it could attract strong attention from advanced collectors who specialize in error coins. Another important aspect is toning, which refers to the natural coloration that develops on a coin's surface over time due to environmental exposure. Some coins develop attractive golden, blue, or rainbow toning that significantly increases visual appeal. Even if the coin is circulated, collectors often value eye appeal as much as technical grade, especially in competitive auction environments where aesthetic beauty can drive bidding wars. Grading also plays a crucial role in determining value. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on strike quality, surface condition, luster, and overall eye appeal. Even a circulated coin can sometimes achieve a higher market position if it displays unusually strong details compared to typical examples. However, it is important to understand that most 1984D Jefferson Nickels in circulated wear and tear condition remain extremely common and do not carry high monetary value in the regular market. The claim of $330,000 valuation represents an extreme scenario that would only apply to a very rare and exceptional specimen, possibly involving a combination of major mint errors, near-perfect preservation for its type, or unique characteristics that make it one of a kind. Such cases are extremely rare and are usually discussed in speculative or headline-style numismatic conversations rather than everyday market pricing. The Jefferson Nickel series itself has been one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design that has remained consistent for decades and is well recognized among collectors worldwide. The 1984D issue belongs to a modern high-production era where billions of coins were produced for circulation, which generally reduces rarity but increases the importance of finding exceptional surviving examples. Over time, collectors have realized that even modern coins can sometimes produce surprises when unusual errors or conditions are discovered. This is why coins like the 1984D Jefferson Nickel continue to be studied and discussed in numismatic communities. In today's market environment, serious collectors and investors rely on verified auction records, third-party grading certifications, and documented sales history to determine true value rather than unverified claims, because actual market value is always determined by what a qualified buyer is willing to pay in a real auction setting, not by speculation alone. Still, the excitement around stories of high-value modern coins continues to grow because it keeps the hobby engaging and encourages people to carefully examine coins that might otherwise be ignored. The 1984D Jefferson Nickel therefore serves as a reminder that even the most common-looking coins can become interesting under the right conditions, and while most examples will remain low-value circulation pieces, The possibility of rare exceptions keeps collectors searching and studying every detail, making it a small but fascinating part of the broader world of coin collecting, where condition, rarity, and uniqueness can completely change a coin's story and
Next
potential
coin,
worth. The 1973 with no mint mark, a coin that in normal circulated good condition is extremely common and usually worth only its face value. Yet in rare and highly unusual situations, it has been associated with auction discussions claiming values reaching as high as $370,000, creating excitement among collectors who constantly search for hidden treasures in everyday coins. The 1973 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which during that time traditionally did not place a mint mark on most circulating nickels, and because of the massive production numbers during the early 1970s, millions of these coins entered circulation and were used daily in commerce across the United States, meaning that most surviving examples today show typical circulation signs such as worn surfaces, light scratches, reduced shine, and handling marks from years of use. However, in the world of numismatics, even the most common coins can become highly valuable if they possess rare characteristics that set them apart from the standard population. And this is where attention begins to focus on specific details that may not be visible at first glance. Collectors often examine coins under magnification to search for unique features such as doubled dies, unusual strike patterns, die cracks, or other production errors that occurred during the minting process. These types of errors are considered rare because they result from mechanical or alignment issues inside the minting machinery. And when such errors appear on a coin like the 1973 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel, they can create strong collector demand and increase interest in the coin dramatically. Another important factor that can influence desirability is the overall condition of the coin. Even in circulated good condition, a coin that shows balanced wear without heavy damage can sometimes be more appealing than one that has severe scratches or environmental corrosion. Collectors also pay attention to the remaining details on the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the structure of Monticello on the reverse side, because sharper remaining features indicate less wear and stronger preservation. Toning is another characteristic that may increase visual interest, as natural color changes can develop over decades depending on storage environment. Some coins acquire warm golden shades or deeper gray tones that give them a distinctive appearance, which collectors often describe as attractive eye appeal. Eye appeal is important in auctions because coins that look unique or visually pleasing can sometimes inspire stronger bidding activity compared to dull or heavily damaged examples. Professional grading services also play a major role in determining how a coin is perceived in the market. These services carefully evaluate the coin's strike quality, surface preservation, and remaining detail before assigning a grade that helps buyers understand its condition. When a coin is certified by a respected grading authority, collectors gain more confidence in its authenticity and condition, which can influence how much they are willing to pay during auctions. In cases where extremely high values, such as $370,000, are mentioned, it is usually assumed that the coin involved is not a typical circulated piece, but rather an exceptional specimen with unusual rarity factors, possibly including a dramatic mint error, rare die variety, or extraordinary preservation that makes it stand out from millions of similar coins. Such scenarios are very rare and are often highlighted as special auction events rather than normal market pricing. The Jefferson Nickel series itself has remained one of the most popular coin series among collectors because of its long history and consistent design, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home, Monticello, on the back. Many collectors enjoy studying these coins because they combine American history, craftsmanship, and the possibility of discovering rare variations. The 1973 no mint mark issue represents a period of large-scale coin production, which generally reduces rarity but increases the importance of identifying unusual survivors that escaped heavy wear or display unique production characteristics. In modern collecting culture, stories of high-value coins inspire people to re-examine coins they already own, sometimes leading to exciting discoveries that add to the overall knowledge of the hobby. While most 1973 Jefferson Nickels without a mint mark remain common and low in value, the idea that a rare example could reach extraordinary auction levels keeps collectors interested and motivated to study every detail carefully. This coin, therefore, represents more than just a simple 5-cent piece. It symbolizes the excitement of possibility in the world of numismatics, where patience, knowledge, and attention to detail can sometimes lead to unexpected rewards. And even though extremely high price claims should always be approached with caution and verified through trusted auction records, the fascination surrounding coins like the 1973 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel continues to grow as collectors search for the rare features that could transform an ordinary coin into a remarkable collector's item. Next coin, the 1976 with a D mint mark. A coin that in normal circulated fine condition is extremely common and usually only worth its face value or slightly above. Yet in rare and highly unusual circumstances, it has been associated with extraordinary auction claims reaching up to $340,000, which immediately attracts attention from collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts who are always searching for hidden treasures in everyday pocket change. The 1976 Jefferson Nickel was struck at the Denver Mint during a high production period when millions of coins were released into circulation as part of normal U.S. currency supply, and because of this massive mintage, most examples found today show typical circulation wear such as scratches, dull surfaces, loss of original luster, and general environmental damage. However, in the world of numismatics, value is not always determined by how many coins were produced, but by how many rare and exceptional survivors exist with unique characteristics that separate them from the normal population. And this is where special attention begins, because even a common date coin like the 1976D Jefferson Nickel can become highly desirable if it carries rare minting errors, exceptional strike quality, or unusual surface conditions that make it stand out in a significant way. One of the most important factors that can dramatically influence value is the presence of mint errors, which may include double die strikes, off-center impressions, clipped planchets, die cracks, or repunched mint marks. These errors occur during the production process at the mint and are not intentional, making them highly collectible when they are clearly visible and well preserved. If a 1976D Jefferson Nickel were to display a major and dramatic mint error, combined with strong remaining detail and eye appeal, it could attract serious attention from advanced collectors who specialize in rare error coins. Another important factor is toning, which refers to the natural coloration that develops on a coin's surface over time due to environmental exposure. Some coins develop attractive golden, blue, or multicolor toning patterns that significantly increase visual appeal, even if the coin is circulated, because collectors often value eye appeal as much as technical grade, especially in competitive auction environments where beauty and uniqueness can drive bidding wars. grading also plays a major role in determining market value. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on strike quality, surface condition, luster, and overall preservation. Even circulated coins can sometimes achieve higher recognition if they show unusually strong detail compared to typical examples. However, it is important to clearly understand that the vast majority of 1976D Jefferson Nickels in fine circulated condition remain very common and carry low monetary value in the normal market. The claim of $340,000 valuation represents an extreme and highly exceptional scenario that would only apply to a rare and possibly unique specimen, most likely involving a combination of major mint errors, outstanding preservation for its category, or extremely unusual characteristics that make it one of a kind. Such cases are extremely rare and are typically discussed in speculative, numismatic contexts or exceptional auction highlights rather than standard market pricing. The Jefferson Nickel series itself is one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States, featuring the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design that has been used for decades and remains highly recognizable among collectors worldwide. The 1976 issue is particularly interesting because it was minted during the U.S. bicentennial era, a time of increased coin production and historical significance, which adds an extra layer of interest for collectors even though most examples remain common. Over time, collectors have learned that even modern coins from large production years can sometimes produce surprises when unusual errors or exceptional preservation conditions are discovered. This is why coins like the 1976D Jefferson Nickel continue to generate discussion and curiosity within the numismatic community. In today's market, serious collectors and investors rely on verified auction results, third-party grading certifications, and documented sales history to determine true value, rather than unverified claims or internet speculation, because real market value is always determined by actual transactions between buyers and sellers in certified auction environments. Still, the excitement surrounding stories of high-value modern coins continues to grow because it highlights the possibility that even ordinary coins in circulation may hold unexpected value under the right conditions. The 1976D Jefferson Nickel, therefore, represents more than just a common 5-cent piece. It represents the curiosity and discovery aspect of coin collecting, where every detail matters and where condition, rarity, and error combinations can completely transform a coin's identity, turning it from a simple piece of currency into a potential collector's treasure if all rare factors come together in a truly exceptional way. Next coin, the 2000 with a D mint mark, a coin that in normal circulated good condition is extremely common and usually worth only its face value, yet in rare and highly unusual circumstances, it has been associated with extraordinary auction claims reaching up to $350,000, which immediately draws attention from collectors, investors, and hobbyists who are always searching for rare value hidden inside everyday pocket change. The 2000D Jefferson Nickel was produced at the Denver Mint during a high-output period when millions of coins were struck for circulation across the United States. And because of this massive production, most examples found today are very common and typically show signs of circulation such as surface wear, light scratches, reduced luster, and general handling marks. However, in numismatics, value is not determined only by how many coins were minted, but also by how rare and exceptional individual surviving examples are when compared to the normal population. And this is where the discussion becomes interesting, because even a modern coin like the 2000D Jefferson Nickel can become highly valuable if it shows rare mint errors, exceptional strike quality, or unusual preservation characteristics that make it stand out significantly from billions of standard examples. One of the most important factors that can dramatically influence value is the presence of minting errors, which may include double die strikes, off-center impressions, clipped planchets, die breaks, or repunched mint marks. These errors occur during the minting process and are not intentional, making them extremely desirable when they are clearly visible and well preserved. If a 2000D Jefferson Nickel were discovered with a major and dramatic mint error combined with strong remaining detail and eye appeal, it could attract serious attention from advanced collectors who specialize in modern era coins. Another major factor that influences value is toning, which refers to the natural color changes that develop on a coin's surface over time due to environmental exposure. Some coins develop attractive golden, blue, or multicolor toning patterns that greatly increase visual appeal even in circulated condition. Because collectors often value eye appeal as much as technical grade, especially in competitive auction environments where unique appearance can significantly influence bidding activity. Grading also plays a critical role in determining coin value. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on strike quality, surface preservation, luster, and overall appearance. And even circulated coins can sometimes achieve higher recognition if they retain unusually strong detail compared to typical examples. However, it is very important to understand that the vast majority of 2000D Jefferson Nickels in good circulated condition remain extremely common and do not carry high market value in standard coin trading. The claim of $350,000 valuation represents an extreme and highly exceptional scenario that would only apply to a very rare and possibly unique specimen, most likely involving a combination of significant mint errors, outstanding preservation for its category, or extremely unusual characteristics that make it one of a kind. Such cases are extremely rare and are usually discussed in speculative numismatic contexts or headline auction stories rather than normal market pricing. The Jefferson Nickel series itself is one of the most widely collected coin series in United States history, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, a design that has remained iconic and easily recognizable for decades. The 2000 issue belongs to a modern production era where coins were minted in extremely large quantities, which generally reduces rarity but increases the importance of finding exceptional survivors with unusual traits. Over time, collectors have learned that even modern coins can occasionally produce surprises when rare errors or exceptional preservation conditions are discovered, which is why coins like the 2000D Jefferson Nickel continue to attract curiosity and discussion in numismatic communities. In today's market environment, serious collectors and investors depend on verified auction results, third-party grading certifications, and documented sales history to determine true value rather than relying on unverified claims or online speculation, because actual market value is always defined by real transactions between buyers and sellers in certified auctions. Still, the fascination with stories of high-value modern coins continues to grow because it keeps the hobby exciting and encourages people to carefully inspect coins that might otherwise be overlooked. The 2000D Jefferson Nickel therefore represents more than just a common 5-cent coin. It represents the idea that even the most ordinary-looking currency can sometimes hold unexpected potential under rare circumstances, and while most examples will remain low-value circulation pieces, the possibility of discovering something unusual is what keeps collectors searching, studying, and appreciating every small detail, making it a small but interesting part of the broader numismatic world, where rarity, condition, and error combinations can completely change a coin's story and potential worth.